Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beavers and animals alike. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend wherever you are. Maybe relaxing on the deck like Bluebell is, or immediately aware when somebody says your name. I don't know. Let me see who's in the chat. Sashina, thank you so much. Courtney. Yes, Bluebell is staying the whole weekend. So I even organize it. We're going to feed her dinner on camera. Oh, shoot, I said the word. Anyways, we're going to get started in a minute. But Hayden Harris, hello. Avs and Broncos fan, Amy, how are you doing? Listen, I want to know what you had for dinner tonight. And if you didn't like what you had for dinner, I want to know what you wish you had. Hi, Deborah Baker. Thank you so much for being here. Who else do we have? I was a little bit late. Nana's yelling. You know, somebody left the most amazing comment the other day, but they sort of inferred that they thought maybe Nana was like a bit that I was doing. I'm sad to report that is just 100% real. Nana yelling at me. Anyways, so let's continue on. Jody Gardner, Lawrence Browning. Let me see who else. Hayden Harris, did I say that? Ron Mitchell. Hello, hello. Fidelity DE to you. What does that mean? Joey, hi. It's a dress, actually. It's a dress that is quite lovely. I really enjoy it. It's really long. It's also really stretchy, so I can like make it a short dress, which I tend to do, make it a long dress, any of those things. So, guys, this is Kitchen Court Cases. Oh, we watch Court in my kitchen. Deborah Baker had chicken pesto for dinner. Bandon had lasagna garlic bread. Hayden Harris, spicy crunch roll and cornbread. Is that, you made that, Hayden, or that's like that's it? You get that from somewhere. Remember, if you're new here, I'm Canadian. So sometimes I get your references from all my media, but sometimes I don't. So I ask questions. Um, Please go ahead and clock in for your shift tonight by hitting the like button. In fact, we are on the lookout for somebody who said they joined last night and then the live cut out on them. Oh gosh, what was her name? Melody? Was it Melody? No, Harmony. Harmony. I believe it was Harmony. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I challenged Harmony to come back tonight so that we don't have the same problems again. And I'm going to redeem myself by showing you the entire clip that I had promised last night, which is a person freaking out at the judge. So I've made a short of this, but I didn't make a full video yet. But I would super like to thank Hector from Hector Cam Clips. I think that's the full name. For giving me this tip and this video. So thank you so much, Hector. Um, okay, Joey just said that she had slow cooker pork roast and honey biscuits. Oh, honey biscuits sound yummy. Um, she will be having her D word shortly. I haven't had anything yet, but I'm not super hungry, but we'll see where we get. So if you're new here, so that reminds me, med check. If you're new here, we do med checks, which means you think about taking your medicine or whatever you do. And that includes like herbal medicine. If scotch is your medicine on the weekends, we don't judge. We just do. So we're going to start with that while I get her dinner ready. Oh, see, she heard that. And then we will go from there. So give me one moment. Has everybody had a lovely day today? Because I have had a lovely day so far, and I hope that you all have had a lovely day. Um, she's such a sweetie. Hi, Daylight. Nice to see you. Bluebell, would you come here? People would like to say hello. Would you come here, please? Would you actually stay there? Just stay there. Actually, good idea. Stay there. Don't come here. And we will, yep, that's exactly what I wanted anyways. Um, Jonathan, hello, hello, hello. Great day. I'm really glad to hear that. Ooh, Courtney, that sounds like my mix today. Both, right? Except mine's ice cream cake. So I don't know what she's dealing with. Hi at daylight. But oh yeah, I need to click this. Hopefully I don't mess it up like I did yesterday. Trying to make myself green is what happened yesterday. I literally was like, tried to mimic the coloring of the video that we were watching, and evidently that's not good. So, um, just give me 1 second here. Like I said, we're gonna watch this freakout video, and the judge literally slays this. So, uh, please get ready to enjoy. And yes, my dear, dinner. Yeah, I know it's coming. Just give me 1 second, please. The people need their court, okay? Without further ado, oh, Chris L is here. Hello, hello, hello. Um, you can Deborah. I love it, you guys. Fair enough. That's what you wish you had. Right, right, right. Okay, we'll get your food. Let me just hit play.
Number 31, People versus Donald Taylor, 2278 FC.
Nimish Ganatra for the People.
Michael Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Taylor, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. How are you, sir?
How you doing, ma'am?
All right, thank you. Mr. Gaddy, where are we today?
Your Honor, I believe that there, yes, I received additional violations yesterday.
I see it.
Excuse me, Mr. Gaddy. I'm gonna have to interrupt you. I apologize for this, guys. Harmony, hi, welcome. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop by my office later because of last night's shenanigans. I think you said that you might have had something to do with it. I'm just kidding. Seriously, though, all I need you to do is clock in for your shift and get ready to enjoy a night of court. But I'm glad that you've joined the kitchen crew, and I'm sorry that last night sort of crapped out. I am sort of thinking we could blame you, but no, we would never. Anyways, what we are watching right now, oh, okay, whatever, is this clip where he is not happy, but he started out so polite. So polite. Hi, arbitrary hubris. All my people are here, and Bluebell is too. I promise I won't sing more than you do.
Mr. Taylor, so I didn't have a chance to go over them with him.
Okay, I just got that as well. We got it this morning. Mr. Taylor, the probation department has amended their violation. They've requested that the following counts, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, have been added to your violation report. I'm going to arraign you on those and tell you what the allegations are.
Babe,
as I
what is
previously
going on?
told you
Nobody's here.
or
Nobody's here.
You are in front of Judge Kunke. You are entitled to a hearing as to these, and that Mr. Gaddy will continue to represent you. These are the allegations that they have. Count 4, on January 17th of 2023, you were arguing with an AATA employee, threatening to shoot people, shouted profanities, and told a security officer that you would, and this is in quotes, kick his ass. And lists the Ann Arbor Police Report crime report number. Ann Arbor, condition number 5, Ann Arbor Police Report 232317 indicated that you were slurring your words, unsteady on your feet, and appeared intoxicated. Count 6, you had contact with Ann Arbor Police on 1/17/2023 and failed to report your contact to the probation department within 24 hours. Condition 7, on June 3rd of 2023, it is alleged that you committed the offense of giving false information to a police officer and that is a pending case in the 14A District Court under docket 23-232-0459 OT. Must be a ticket case. Count 8, according to the Ypsilanti Police Report 237025 on 6/3 of 2023, you told the police that you were drunk. And then count 9, according to the Ypsi Police Report 237814 on 6/17, you were accused of making threats to shoot someone. Those are the added conditions. So that arraignment will be completed, Mr. Gaddy, as to those added counts.
Yeah, so those counts, Mr. Taylor would stand mute. I'd ask the court to adjourn this violation so I can investigate these and take a look at these police reports.
Mr. Ganatra.
I have no objection to that request.
Mr. Gaddy, how much time do you need?
Your Honor, I'd leave it up to perhaps two or 3 weeks. The recommendation for probation is for revoke and a year with credit for, I believe, 55 days or 54 days as of today. I'd ask that stay open.
We can keep that open.
Do the 24th then. Okay, we'll be back on 7/24/23.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Your bond's gonna continue where you are right now, and then we'll be back, allow your attorney to do some investigation, and we'll adjourn your violation hearing. Okay, sir? Okay.
So the next time I come to court be the 24th?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Demetrius benchmark? Yeah.
What's today's date?
Today is the 23rd.
23rd, so I gotta sit here a month.
If Mr. Gaddy is prepared before then, or he can get the additional information that he needs to do your defense. No, Mr. Taylor. One, that's not the way we ask. Mr. Taylor, your case is concluded today. Mr. Gaddy, you can bring a bond motion if you feel it's appropriate.
Stupid ass bitch.
Thank you. Got all that, Gaddy?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Bluebell. Okay. That guy was not very nice, was he, guys? Appreciate, I don't know why the audio is not great for that, but we have some other stuff coming up. Bluebell is going to eat her dinner. She's just sat here and literally created a health work hazard on the floor because there's so much drool. But just give me one moment. Enjoy her weird eating while I go ahead and get the next thing going, which is Bond Core with Big D. So if you're new here, Bond Core is a fun game that we play. And hi, Evelyn. Hi, Billy. Who else is here that I have not said hi to already? Yes. So we got partway through last night and we're going to start where we left off. Okay, Bluebell, maybe that was a bad idea. You're a little gross, but it's okay. Oh my God, I dropped the mouse. I'm doing great, Billy. Thank you for asking so much. I'm doing great, even though the live that didn't really work last night, has become my biggest live ever. So it's hard to really interpret what that means. So I don't think I will. Anyways, I just laugh. But let's continue on. So, guys, how we do in this court is that this judge is awesome. We call him the Big D. And if you're a member, you have a Big D emoji. We have up here the voting that we do for this game. So, vote in the chat as many times as you want. Change your vote, change your mind, grow and, evolve as a person if you want, or don't. Like, it's totally fine. But nobody's going to be mad at you for changing your vote in the chat. If you think that they are going to ask for a court-appointed attorney, you hit that 1 button. If you think they're going to hire their own or want to hire their own, that's a 2-2. Soft idiot or somebody that does not want legal representation, wants to represent themselves, would be a 3-3-3. If Big Dismissal Dan is going to go ahead and give that Big D to us, we like to see 4-4-4-4 in the chat, or feel free to throw up that Big D sign. You'll also see me if I'm on my game, the Big D will pop up like this. I know you're thinking, if you watch other court more often, you're probably thinking, well, how often is a dismissal going to happen? All the time, guys. All the time. This guy personally dismisses more cases than I've seen of every other judge put together. And he's not a traffic court judge, which I love. So, like I said, Big D comes up. We love him. Make it clear that to everybody watching, like, I stan this judge. I have a whole fake backstory that I've created in my head where he's not a real judge. He broke into the courthouse one weekend to save his friends because they got caught in something. And they were like, hey, Dan, remember that judge bit that you used to do? Can you help us out? And so he did it the one time, but then he was so good at the paperwork that he just sort of kept going. And it's been 4 years now. And there's really no weekend court in Clayton County, but he just, all the judges, what are they going to say? Oh, I haven't been doing this for 4 years. He's just in it now. And that's why paperwork is so important for Dismissal Dan. And if you notice a little beaver running around on this screen, his name is Larry, and he's trying to help find that paperwork. So he is also used as a beaver buffer dam if I need to protect you / me from things that YouTube Daddy doesn't want me to show. So if you see Larry, he's either covering something up that YouTube Daddy doesn't want you to see, or he is helping find paperwork. But Larry, he's on, I guess, what you would call a probation because of a few instances lately where he has been late to the game and not covering things up properly. But, it's okay. So last reminder to go ahead, hit the like button to clock in for your shift because we do take attendance. Oh, I didn't do the last one. The last one is if they have mental health or they don't understand the assignment. And we used to have that 5555, but now we have it 5150, which is the code for that type of mental health hold in some places. Please keep in mind, guys, that this is all in good fun. We really are keen court watchers, and that's why this becomes fun. This is definitely not for your noob novice viewer because it's quite in tune. You'll see. Let's keep going. Also, hi Shelly. Yes, and Billy Elliot, and Regier hypnotized him into thinking he's a real judge in order to clear the backlog. Or I have backstories for all the judges in my head. Most of them include Hogwarts. I don't know why. George Richmond, thank you so much. See, this is what got me last night. I was literally trying to make...
Kiara, Marsha, and Ross.
Judge, can you just please stop for 1 second? No, Jody, I have an imagination. I just can't see any. There's no images, but I think way outside of most people's boxes. You can send anything you want, Daylight. Valentine, yes, absolutely. George Richmond, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You can vote early, you can vote often, you can change your vote, Deborah. You can literally, it all goes in here. So I love it. If I'm really on it, sometimes I'll go like this and like remind you to vote by like doing this. But sometimes I don't do that. So you can just throw it in there. Seriously, and last night this is why the stream stopped, because I went and did some weird magic to try and make myself green, which worked once before, I'd like to point out. And Billy was like, Avatar. And I was like, okay, whatever the people want. But then it crashed the computer. So we're not doing that again tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought you were Miss McRae. Give me 1 second.
She was here.
Hold on a second. You said Miss Moss?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me just a second. Let me pull your paperwork. All right, Miss Moss. Miss Moss. All right. Miss Moss, you were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor. Okay. I am going to grant a bond in your case. The bond amount is going to be $1,500. I am going to add a special condition of your bond for you to not have any violent contact with Daniel Brown. Who is that to you?
My husband.
Okay, so I understand that tempers and emotions run high when you're dealing with a spouse and things like that, but I mean, you're old enough to know how to handle yourself accordingly and not end up where you are right here, right? So don't yell, scream, kiss, cut, kick. Don't do anything that anybody would consider to be violent, right? If you get heated, then you need to remove yourself.
Judge, hold on. That was a new one that happened there. And I'll tell you what, we love that he is so, you'll grow to find, like Deborah, because I think it's your first time. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not here. What you'll find is that, okay, now it's a bit tall, that the judge really tailors his instructions when he's doing stay away orders, etc. And so he is obsessed with kick for some reason. I tried to add him. It didn't work out. I don't have a TPO, but I don't want to add him again. I'm kidding. But what you'll find is like what he said there is a little odd. I think he made a mistake by saying kiss. But when he does we were actually keeping track because he said such great bond conditions before. He said, don't use smoke signals, don't pass notes in the grocery store, don't, the standards, but like he's great at being specific and explaining what they need, Oh, Joey, I am here. I'm smiling, so we are all going to smile a little bit. And as Crystal has said, they're blue, ba-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-dee. Oh, I still don't believe my vocal skills are even close to good enough to get copyright stricken for anything, but I'm scared anyways.
Yourself from the situation, so you don't end up back here. If kick, don't do anything that anybody would consider to be. I mean, you're old enough to know how to handle yourself accordingly and not end up where you are right here, right? So don't yell, scream, kiss, cut, kick. Don't do anything that anybody would consider to be violent, right? If you get heated, then you need to remove yourself from the situation, so you don't end up back here. If somebody starts something with you, again, they're not the one with pending case against them. You are. So it doesn't matter how other people act, it's how you react and how you act. Okay. All right, your next court date is September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. All right?
But if I bond out, I don't have to appear.
If you bond out what?
I was just repeating what you said, so I make sure I heard it right. September 20th, but if I bond out, I don't have to appear.
That's right. So if you bond out, you don't have to go on September 20th. You'll get notified via mail or email or however it is that they're doing now of your court date later on down the road, okay?
Thank you.
All right, do you have any other questions? Oh, wait. Now, it says here.
See, so here we go. I'm really like helping everybody. What's happening with you? Okay. Live or anything. Now is when we could vote. This will be the absolute last time to vote for this one to see what she's going to decide. Once again, court-appointed attorney, hire their own, a soft citiate, dismissed, or well, dismissed is pretty much out of the ballpark now. In reality, and to be fair, if it's going to be a dismissal, he does it right off the bat. I just love it when guys throw you the D right off the bat. But anyways, so right now would be a great time to get in your votes for this lady right here to see what she's going to do. Deborah's still voting one, Avs and Bronx. And Deborah, normally in any other court, and normally sometimes in this court, that's a solid choice. But we also have a conspiracy theory that started happening about some pressure because people looked literally frightened to choose the court-appointed attorney to the point where we were like investigating it. We were like a little weirded out, but it's calmed down if you've noticed, guys. Anyways, let's find out what she chooses. The reason these hearings go so quickly, by the way, in some senses, and are a little different than normal, even though this is in Georgia, Clayton County, Georgia, which is contiguous, which means it touches Fulton County, Georgia, which is where the famous, the one, the only, the goddess herself, Alex Manning, is from. So, like I said, contiguous counties right beside each other. You could find yourself in front of Big D, or you can find yourself in front of a Fulton County judge. But we also know what the people are staying in jail for in Fulton County. This guy dismisses things like they need to in Fulton County.
You started to fill out the application, then you just kind of stopped. Do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I think I'll be fine with that one.
Okay, so you just don't want an attorney?
I'm trying to hire one of my own.
Okay, you want to hire one on your own. All right, no problem. Then that's fine. If you end up getting one, just let them know who it is and then they'll they need to sign the paperwork and file it with the court. All right, do you have any questions?
No, sir. You said my bond was 1,500, right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
I'm brave.
Like I said, this court turns every expectation on its head. Maybe it's the blue.
All right, Miss McRae. McRae, you are charged with one count of battery family violence, which is a misdemeanor. Your bond is going to be $2,000. Also, criminal trespass, misdemeanor, your bond is going to be $2,000. So your total bond is going to be $4,000. Now, you are going to have a special condition of your bond to have no violent contact with Gregory McRae. That's your husband, I assume. Is that correct? Okay. Just like I told the previous young lady, listen, you're very much a grown up. I know that tensions can run high, but you have to figure out ways to handle things in a mature manner so you don't end up back in the Clayton County Jail, because I imagine you don't like being in jail, correct? That's right. So don't yell, cuss, kick, scream, slam doors, throw pillows. Don't do none of that. If you find yourself to where you're getting angry, you just remove yourself from the situation in a calm manner. Take a walk, take a drive, whatever it is that you need to do. Just don't end up back here, okay? All right, very good. Now, I will ask you one favor, and I didn't tell everyone. When you respond, I need you either to say yes or no, just so I can hear you, okay?
I said yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Sometimes it's hard for me to hear because of the mask and the camera and the internet and things like that. Now, your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. The last bit of information or question I have.
Get your votes in, get your votes in. Court appointed attorney. I'm seeing lots of ones in the chat. Thank you, Shelly. And thank you, Crystal. And thank you, Broke Bespoke. Are you bespoke and broke? Or are you just sort of bougie while broke? I don't know. Let's find out. Get your votes in the chat. See what they pick. Here we go. I'm getting an order in the kitchen here as well. Let me take that while you do this.
For you is you did not fill out your form for a court-appointed counsel. So do you want to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, you have the right to do that. If you can't find an attorney the next time you ever appear in court, just let them know that you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your question?
You said my next court date is September the 20th, and you say I don't have to appear?
If you bond out of jail, meaning you pay your bond, on September the 20th, you do not need to appear in court.
So do I do like video or?
Your next court date, as long as you're not in jail, they'll notify you when your next court date is, okay? The only time you need to go to court on September the 20th is if you're still locked up. And they'll...
Of anybody that needs to have an appointed attorney, these people, this is what we don't get, Deborah. Like, there's a weird vibe going on where they literally are like afraid to take the attorney. I'm not going to make any speculation because somebody would object. Let's go. The order was fries and macaroni, but frozen macaroni. So just a small order of each before they go out.
They'll take you there. Okay.
I can just go to work or, like normal, like have a normal day. Is that how it works?
As long as you're out of jail, yeah. And you don't have anything else going on. Yes.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Sir.
All right. Very good. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Jessica Simone Ratliff.
I don't have you.
Incoming volume changed. I didn't realize I was low on them. Just
have you already
FYI.
posted? Has somebody posted your bond already?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What's your last name?
Ratliff.
Oh, huh. I don't have. I see your name on my list, but I don't have any of your documentation. Give me just a second. Let me make sure that that's correct.
Okay.
See, this happens enough that we go ahead and made Larry.
Hold on. I have a bond order for you. Let me see if I have your warrant paperwork. Oh, here we go. Jessica Ratliff. Okay, Miss Ratliff, give me just a moment. Your name was at the top, so I just must have skipped over it. I'm sorry. Let's see here.
Deborah, again, we believe this guy is like
application. Very good.
My backstory just makes more and more sense every time you see him. He looks like he's like one time he was wearing his robes and we were like, no, he's not, but he so was.
Thank you.
All right. Let me see what you have going on. Simple assault. All right. So you're before the court on one count of simple assault and criminal trespass. So what I need to do is take a quick look.
They don't want homemade fries. They want these
Okay.
ones. So, okay.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do for you, Miss Ratliff. You're before the court, like I said, on simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. I am going to grant a bond on the simple assault, and the bond is going to be $1,500. On the criminal trespass, I'm dismissing that charge against you. I don't know whose picture frame it is. If it's yours, you can destroy your own stuff. And if it's not, they didn't tell me it didn't belong to you. So I don't have enough evidence either way. Now, my understanding is
What?
that the other person,
Yeah,
involved is
she's
your
excited too.
roommate.
Big
Is
D.
that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I still have my clothes over there and everything I have to get, so.
Yeah. Well, how long have y'all been roommates?
4 months.
Got it. Do you have somewhere else that you can go?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Well, I'll tell you what then, because I'm going to do two things for you. Number one, don't have any contact with Miss Howard. Okay. So
Can I still go get my stuff?
Yep. Give me just a second. I'm gonna explain that part to you because I know you need to get your stuff. All right. Give me just a second. The address is 6854.
Yes, sir.
Red Maple Drive.
No,
Okay,
no, it's not.
6854. Red. All right, Rex. GA. All right. So here's the deal. Don't have any contact with her, not physical, not through Instagram and all this other stuff that people are using these days. Okay. Also, don't go back to the residence. However, in my order, I'm putting in that you are allowed to go back and get your stuff. But don't just show up with a piece of paper saying the judge said I could come up here and get my stuff. That's not how that works. Okay. You have to make arrangements with the sheriff's office. They're going to go with you to make sure that there's no more incidents between you and Miss Howard. That's for your own safety and for hers and everybody else's, right? So people don't get rowdy. And they will be there so you can get anything that you want so long as it's yours. Okay. So typically clothing items, personal effects and things of that nature, right? Like, you know, I don't know how y'all have couches and things like that, but just be reasonable. You know, don't try to cause a scene. Nobody wants anybody else charged or anything like that. Okay. But it's going to be in the order. So you just need to take that to the sheriff's office and they'll link you up and go and get your stuff. All right. Now, next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, you have an opportunity to hire your own attorney, or you have that right. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
And what do you think she's going to choose in the chat? Oh, we got 22s flipping around. Thank you very much, Doodle Mom NC. Is that North Carolina? I think it's North Carolina. Forgive me again, Canadian. Guys, this dress is so old and I do love it too. But seriously, and if you know, this material is like, I don't know, like t-shirt material. So you can't make it wrinkled. It just is great. I love it. Doodle Mom and see like my top 3 favorite YouTubers are from North Carolina. So I think people there are pretty dang cool. We are voting right now. Bluebell, did you want to get a vote? What do you think this lady on the screen is going to do? Do you think she's going to... What are you going to do? What we'll do is I'll do a choice between 1 or 2. Come down here. Okay. And we'll do whichever one is in... I have 1 in one hand and 2 in the other, and we'll do which one she picks first. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay. Which one? This one. Okay, Bluebell says she's going to go for a court-appointed attorney. Court-appointed attorney from Bluebell. Okay, let's see.
Okay. All right, I will do that for you, Ms. Ratliff. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, and just make sure you follow those directions. Don't show up over there without the sheriff. Okay.
Can I call the officer when I get there? Well, before I get there, to let them know to meet me there?
No, what'll happen is you'll take the bond order, you'll take the piece of paper with you to the sheriff's department. You'll go up there. They have a window where you can go to, and you'll arrange it up there. Don't just show up at the address and then call them to come over there. You need to go to the sheriff's office. They're located right behind the courthouse, and they'll tell you how that goes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Well, good luck to you. All right. What's your name?
Marie Robinson.
Robinson.
Sir.
Is it Nicole Robinson? Okay, hold on just a second. They brought a lot of people over here that the only Robinson I have is Nicole Robinson. Let me see. Did somebody post your bond already, ma'am?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Your Honor, Jimmy Robinson, he posted bond. That's a male. Nicole Robinson is a female.
Right. Who's this in front of me?
This is Nicole Robinson.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I heard Robinson and I asked if it was Nicole. I just didn't understand her response. Got it. All right. Miss Nicole Robinson.
Yes, sir.
All right. In just a moment. All right, ma'am. You are here on one count of battery family violence, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond in your case. The bond is going to be $2,500. Now, a special condition of your bond is that you do not have any contact with Tyrese Hardy. Who is that to you?
He's nobody to me. He stays in the home where I stay.
I got you. Okay, well then, don't have any contact with him. Okay, wherever he is, you can't be. Okay, so I don't know what the living situation is like, but I don't know if it's a duplex, a condo, single residence or whatever, but wherever he is, you don't be. Okay. Just like I told the last person, if you have stuff that's where he is, I'm going to put in here that you can arrange with the sheriff's department to go and get your stuff. Just don't show up and be like, judge said I could. That's not how that works. Okay. Do it the right way, do it the legal way. That way you don't get yourself in any more trouble. Okay. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
You can appoint one for me.
Okay. I will do that for you. Your next court date, like I said, is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Just make sure your information is correct with the clerks in the sheriff's office. Okay.
Yeah, you said my bill is $2,500?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. All right. Do you have any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, ma'am. Okay. All right. What's your name, ma'am? Did you say Strickland?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. There's a little bit of a delay between you and the your connection and mine. All right.
Oh,
Miss Strickland, you are charged with 1 count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond of $2,500. Now, you're not to have.
Bluebell, did you hear? Gretchen just became a sous chef. It's amazing news. Come here. Say hi, Gretchen. Welcome. Woohoo. That's awesome, Gretchen. Thank you so much. I seriously really sometimes forget a little bit that people watch the lives afterwards and that there's a whole bunch of people that really enjoy that too. And it's always lovely to meet somebody. Okay, let's keep going.
Have any violent contact with James Mathurin. Who is that to you? What's y'all's relationship?
That is my son's father.
Your son's father. Okay. Well, I'm sure you've heard me say what no violent contact is. So just don't have any violent contact with them. Your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
You can appoint one for me.
Okay. All right, I will do that for you. Do you have any other questions?
Did you say that the bond was $2,500?
Yes, $2,500. That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, all right, good luck to you.
Yeah, that's gonna be all the females, Your Honor. Demetria Pierce, she bonded out.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that. Okay, that's fine.
Also, Deborah, I just had a question about Streamlabs.
Yes, Your Honor.
And
okay, very good. Thank you, sir.
he's many things to many people. But here you can block him if you'd like.
What's your name, sir?
Jeremy Allen.
All right, Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, sir. That is a misdemeanor. All right, I am going to grant bond in your case. The bond is going to be $1,500. Are you going to be able to make that bond, sir?
More than likely, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, you do have a special condition of your bond is to have no violent contact with Marie Allen. I'm assuming is that your spouse?
My mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. It does say mother. Okay. Very good. Do y'all live together? What's that? Do y'all live together, Mr. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, got it. Well, listen, you're a grown man. Just don't throw things, don't kick things over, push walls, punch holes in the wall, things of that nature. While you're staying, if you decide that you want to even go back and stay with your mom, don't do anything that would be resembling violence. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, if you bond out, you do not have to go to your court date on September the 20th, and you have the right to hire your own lawyer, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint one for me.
Okay.
Please. The mother in me just automatically adds please, because this is absolutely a request. It's so so frustrating. Anyways, I have a question for you guys, because I can't remember who it was. It was either R. Fulmer or MB recently, who posited in the chat that the instruction of like not needing to come to court is very confusing. And like a lot of these people seem very confusable, and wondered if it had an adverse effect on like the actual rates of people having FTAs, like failures to appear. And it's really silly to me. That seems so funny, but it's like an administrative or a technical process tweak that could change literally a lot within a county if you properly word it and you made it a lot easier to remember and be, notified about. And unfortunately, I think that Judge does really great on most things, and some things that I don't think a lot of judges do well on. He is extremely explicit with no contact orders versus no violent contact orders, and etc. He really works hard on that. And so I don't think that he's doing it intentionally, or even maybe he maybe doesn't even realize that it is confusing to a person not involved in the legal system very frequently, that like if you bail out, you don't need to come to court. I think needs to be followed up with, you'll get a letter in the mail where they give you a date, or like, I don't know. But so like, Deborah, another great point. So telling them that court date is almost not important at all, because it's only going to happen if they are in custody, and they will automatically be brought down. So it's almost like a red herring where you're telling somebody a date and then telling them to forget it, when really you should be saying you need to make sure your contact information is up to date with when you leave, so that we can make sure you get your proper court date. It's interesting. Anyways, let's continue on, and we'll see how we do. Al, that's a fairly good point, but I will point out that when I look at a situation like this, I tend not to look at like the people right in front of me, but more on a systemic level. Like, hey, if you were able to figure out what phrase properly imparted the right information, and you were able to utilize that across courts in the country or wherever, like you could make a big difference sometimes with the words that you use, saving money, saving problems, lots of things. And so sometimes lawyers and judges are too smart for their own good. They don't recognize just quite how simple you need to put things sometimes. I probably have been educated. I have a high school education, sort of. I failed high school. I did not graduate on time. And I failed many, 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 many classes. I've never been to university. I've never been to college. Definitely.
Today,
It does take some time, because this court appearance is probably going to run for about another hour. Then I've got to sign the paperwork, scan it in, email it over to the sheriff's department. They've got to receive it and do their thing. So as long as you don't have any pending charges in Clayton County or anywhere else, it'll be as fast as everybody can process the paperwork.
that's actually my question, like any pending charges or any holds.
I don't know. I have no idea. You should know, or the sheriff's department will know, but I don't know.
Okay.
All right. All right. Any other questions?
That's it.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
I think I need to just clarify one thing, Al, that is my privilege, basically, which is the fact that I am Bluebell. I'm trying to talk about something really serious. Can you just sit down for a minute, and I will give you a treat in a minute? What do you need? What I was going to talk about is the fact that I am educated by the sheer fact that I live in one of the most educated countries, like one of the Western countries in the world in that sense. Like in a grand scheme of things, the level of education I have is immense. I want to make that clear, and I don't take it for granted. But in terms of higher education in a North American standard, I do not have that. I have a lot of life experience and I've had a lot of jobs, but I definitely do not have higher education. But I just want to make sure, because sometimes you forget, like, I had the absolute privilege of going to pretty decent schools, you know, for like 12 years or something like that. So a lot of girls and women and men even all throughout the world don't have that opportunity. So I always like to remind myself of that. But I also think that it's important to realize that not everybody has that experience. So, you know, it's incumbent upon the person who does have that wherewithal to realize that you are the one that then has to adapt. You can't expect other people to have to adapt when they don't get it to begin with. You have to adapt as the person who gets it.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Oh, no, I did not take my education at all seriously. I went, but I did not ever turn in homework. I didn't take care. I wasn't worried about grades. I didn't value my education. And I failed high school, literally. I walked across the stage in graduation and I had a fake empty diploma handed to me. There was no diploma in there because I didn't get enough credits. It's the truth. So, I didn't take my education seriously. What I learned and the way that I am, I think I learned a lot from working. I started working at a bank when I was 15. So I was failing math, but working at a bank. My brain was like, oh, the real world's a little bit different than school. So my education was very hands-on in a way. And I have a very odd memory for things, but I have aphantasia, which means I do not have any visual imagery in my head. And that's just the way it is. So people are always like, you're so smart. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. But I can't really explain it to you because my brain works very differently. And I only learned that in like the last 6 months. Tin Man, you're hearing your own life story echoed back at you. That happens sometimes. It feels nice to hear that. Gretchen, absolutely. The traditional education setting isn't for everyone. Incredibly, I was in let's see. I went to a Montessori preschool and school until the third grade. And then I went to a fine arts family school where they didn't have letter grades and they did small classes, like under 100 kids in the whole school for all the grades. And then I went to a traditional high school. So I didn't necessarily get a traditional education system, which I think is what saved my sort of, I don't know. I think back on it now and I never knew I had aphantasia, so I never knew that I was that different. I really didn't comprehend that was such a difference. But what I did know is that I had ADD, but I was diagnosed as an adult. And so once I was diagnosed, a lot of things made a lot more sense for me. But until then, it didn't make a lot of sense. And fries are almost done. Let's get on with it. I could talk about this a lot. I've done this many times before. So like the thing about me in school is if I was interested in a subject, I would be great at it. If it was a verbal or like an argument, oh my God, debate, I was really good at debate. But there was no like real debate class. I used my debating skills mostly to throw classes off their plan. Like, I enjoyed commandeering classes from teachers, and I was very good at it. I can hold a crowd and engage people, and I like to do that. They don't appreciate that at all. But it's really hard to get mad at when you're sort of being like inquisitive and educational. So I rode this real fine line. And like I said, I failed a lot of classes, but I went to school. And I didn't smoke weed until I was an adult. That's the other thing. Now I smoke a lot of weed, but I didn't smoke any weed until I was an adult. So, okay, Fry's got to come out. We got to watch this. Let's go.
Oliver Armstrong.
Oh, all right, Mr. Armstrong. You are charged with 1 count of battery. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond in your case, and the bond is going to be $2,500. Okay. Also, a special condition of your bond is to not have any contact with Daniel Armstrong. Who is that to you?
That's my son.
I see. How old is your son?
24.
You said it's your son or your grandson?
Well, actually, he's my adopted son.
Got it. Okay. Does he stay with you?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And is it your residence or his?
It's mine.
Got it.
He might not be living there no longer, though.
I understand. I hear you. All right. I'll tell you what, Mr. Armstrong, because if I put no contact and he's at your residence, then that means that you can't go back. And I don't think that's particularly fair. But I have to keep the peace between you and him. So I'm going to put no violent contact. All right. So that will allow you to go back to your residence, but don't get rowdy with your grandson. Okay. The restriction is on you, not on him. Okay. So whatever measures that you want to take about him living there, you'll be able to do it. Okay. Because I don't want to restrict you from being able to do that. But at the same time, sir, you're very much a grown adult. Just figure out ways to govern yourself accordingly so you don't end up back where you are right now. Okay.
Right.
All right. Your next court date is on September the 20th. If you bond out, you're not going to have to go to that court date. Are you going to be able to make your bond, Mr. Armstrong?
I think so.
Okay. Very good. And let me see. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do, sir?
Just appoint me one.
Okay. Very good. And Mr. Armstrong, give me just a moment. Okay. I was just checking to see if you've ever served in the military, sir.
Nope.
All right. No problem. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Armstrong?
No, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir. Please don't come back.
You.
All right. What's your name?
Brinson Bridges.
All right. Mr. Bridges. All right, sir. You are here on 1 count of driving under the influence and 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act.
Thank you, Bob Badick? Anyways, you are totally correct. Sometimes judges do say you have a new court date, and that's also sort of confusing, but I understand it as well. I just wanted to show you guys the fries that are like perfectly done to perfection that are just about to go out of the kitchen. Order up.
I need to change your court date because the drug charge they have it as a felony. All right. I am going to grant a bond on both of these charges. The bond on the DUI is $2,500 and the bond on the drug charge is $2,500. So your total bond is $5,000. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that, sir?
Do I have access to my bank account?
People ask me that. I don't know, but if you have, let's just say you have a debit card or a credit card and you could pay it, probably. You got to work that out with the sheriff's office and the bonding company.
If so, then yes.
Okay. All right. Well, your next court date is going to be on September the 19th. If you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date. But if you...
Another great question. It's like when people admit they're like, oh, I don't know any phone numbers because my phone is in lockup. And you realize, oh, yeah, I had an idea for a business to make it a really easy phone number and like an infomercial where it's like 1-800-NO-PHONE or something like that. And then people know when they get in jail, they call 1-800-NO-PHONE and then they tell me who they are and like who their family is. And then I find them on Facebook or whatever and contact them for them. Another great idea.
Or if you're still incarcerated, that's when you'll have your preliminary hearing date, okay? Now, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want to have a court-appointed attorney?
Court-appointed.
Okay. Okay. All right, I am going to grant that request. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Bridges?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, well, good luck to you, sir.
Thanks.
What's your name, sir?
Amari Bruce. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Amari Bruce, I got you. All right, Mr. Bruce, you are charged with one count of simple battery family violence, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond in the amount of $2,500. Okay. I am putting a special condition as part of your bond to not have any contact with Sky Billingsley. Okay. What's your relationship to her?
A friend. Yes, friend.
Got it. Okay. Well, then don't be friends with her until your case is resolved or your bond is modified. All right.
I'm Canadian, Deborah. Liability is different. We don't sue people. There's no liability. Well, there probably would be some liability for that, but in reality, it's just a service. But yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm one of those people I like, break through barriers and cut red tape and make things happen and beg forgiveness later.
Wherever she is, you don't be. She equals jail in your mind, okay? All right. Don't try to reach out to her via social media.
Oh, no. Sorry, I'm Deborah. Obviously within limits. So the whole point is not to no contact people. The whole point is that they don't have a phone number memorized in their head. And so I would be able to get an appropriate person's phone number. If they don't yet have a no contact order or a bond issued, then there probably wouldn't be any liability on my end. But if they had in fact already been issued a bond, then they would need to provide it first.
Don't try to pass messages through friends or anything like that, because it's just going to lead to more trouble for you. All right. Your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you don't have to appear for that.
I don't contact anybody. I just found the deets. Anyways, like I said, follow behind me. You'll find lots of good ideas, but not all of them for me. No, I don't, Crystal. Let's keep going.
Court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney or can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appointment for.
Okay. All right, I will do that for you. Mr. Bruce, do you have any questions about your case?
Yeah, you said, so my bond is what?
2,500.
All right, cool.
All right, anything else?
Nah, that's it.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Marcus Clark.
All right, Mr. Clark. You are charged with 1 felony count of robbery. I'm going to set a bond at 3,000. 1 misdemeanor count of obstruction. The bond is 1,000. 1, let me see if the drug charge is a felony or a misdemeanor. 1 misdemeanor count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. The bond is going to be 3,000, and 1 misdemeanor count of loitering. So your total bond is going to be 3, 4 plus 4 is $8,000. All right. Now, in addition, you're going to have special conditions to not have any contact with Cornelius Holt or Aurelius Holt. Now, they're not relatives of yours. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. All right. I don't know what, if any, relationship you have to them. So, but if you don't know them, good. It should be easy for you not to have any contact with them. And if you do know them, forget that you know them. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on September the 21st. If you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date. Okay. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. Which one would you like?
Appoint one.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, well, good luck to you. What's your name, sir?
Devin Donaldson.
Donaldson. Hey, Deputy, is Gregory Byers, is he there?
No, sir, he's not.
Is he just not present, or did he bond out, or where's he at?
I'm not sure. He's not present right now. I will look. If you give me a second, I'll call down to where he's supposed to be at.
Called out. Well, I mean, y'all can pass the word that I'm dismissing the warrants.
Oh, so his charges are dismissed?
Yeah, both of his charges are going to be dismissed, so he doesn't have anything pending.
That may be why he's not here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how they knew because I didn't tell anybody. But wherever he is, just pass that along that I'm going to enter into dismissal on those warrants.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment, Mr. Hold on, sir. Give me just a moment.
I'll do it for free, Deborah. Also, my dad used to work as a jail guard in Canada at a maximum security prison for kids. And so I am cognizant of the actual realities of day-to-day life for people incarcerated and people working with those incarcerated. But I have a lot of crazy ideas. I'm a very big thinker, Deborah. Absolutely. I love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. Let's see. Oh my God. Did Dan do his hair differently today? That's Dan, by the way. Dismissal Dan. It looks a little different. I love him because he's so judicially efficient. It like gets me going. I'm like, oh, thank you. And one time he laid a smackdown insult on somebody because of their grammar. And I was just like, oh, yes, do it again.
You're Mr. Donaldson, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. That, go here. Okay.
Larry Beaver to the front, please. Larry Beaver.
All right, sir, you are here on a simple family violence charge. which is a misdemeanor, I am going to grant a bond in the amount of $2,500. Let me see here.
Thank you,
What's the
Donna.
relationship
Orlando, just
between you and the person that was involved in this?
Sister.
Okay, I got it. And what is your sister's full name?
Alexis Donaldson.
All right. Do y'all live together?
No.
All right.
Bluebell's here too, Donna.
All right. So the address at 1219 Shoreham Drive, that's not where you stay, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. Very good. So as part of special condition of your bond, I'm gonna tell you, don't have any contact with Alexis Donaldson and don't return back to the 1219 Shoreham Drive address. Okay. All right. So wherever she is, you don't be, and just don't go back to that property. All right. Now your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date. And you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint one for me.
Okay. All right, I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
A little bit of sliding.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Left
Terrence
out
Howard.
of here. It was crazy. Did you guys see that?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Okay. All right, Mr. Howard. I believe that all of these charges are misdemeanors. They look all like they're driving offenses.
Sir.
Let's see. I just want to double check. Yeah, they are. Okay, very good. All right, sir, you're here on a no license charge or a suspended license charge. Misdemeanor. I'm gonna set bond at 1,500. On the following two closely, bond is going to be 500. On the divided highway restriction violation, the bond is 500. Failure to maintain insurance, 1,000. Registration and license, the dealer plate, tag charge, $1,000. Too fast for conditions, 500, and reckless driving, 1,000. So let me see, 1,500 plus 500, that's 2,000. 2,500, 35, 45, 5,000, 6,000. All right, if I did that math correct, your total bond is going to be $6,000. Okay, all charges are misdemeanors. So the next court date is going to be on September the 20th. Okay. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney. Would you like to hire one, or would you like for me to appoint one?
Yeah, go ahead and appoint one.
Okay. It looks like you filled out your application. The only thing you didn't do was sign it. So is that all right that I just put that you
Yes,
allowed me to sign it? Okay. All right. All right, sir, I'm going to assign an appointed attorney for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Yes, Willie Johnson. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, sir. All right, Mr. Johnson, you are charged with one count of driving either without a valid license or on a suspended or revoked license, and one count of not having insurance. They're both traffic misdemeanor violations. For the insurance charge, it's going to be $1,000. for the no license, it's going to be $1,500. So your total bond is $2,500. Are you going to be able to make that, Mr. Johnson?
Your Honor, in respect to the bond, respectfully, I was wondering if there's any possible way that this could be converted so my girlfriend can possibly pay in cash, because she doesn't have the requirement documents to meet the
I
bond.
see. Well, I mean, you can pay in cash, but it's $2,500.
Yes, I'm saying possibly if it could be converted into a 10, 15% wise.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think I have the authority to do that, Mr. Johnson. I don't think I can. And even if I could, my response would be that, you know, you've heard me give multiple bonds to numerous people. I mean, pretty much 1,000 and 1,500, that's about as low as I could go. So I can't,
Yes,
unfortunately, I can't do anything on that end to help you out. Now, the next court date that you have scheduled is going to be on September the 20th. If you are bonded out, then you do not need to appear for that particular court date. Just make sure your information is accurate with the sheriff's department and the clerk's office, okay? Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can review your application and appoint an attorney for you. What would you like to do, sir?
I'll possibly represent myself pro se with these traffic charges, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. You definitely have the right to do that. Now, I will tell you.
This guy is a sob idiot right here, you guys. Hundy P. Also, thank you, Hayden. That's a nice comment. And I think you're probably right. My mind is often thinking about effectiveness and making things easier for people and more profitable.
I don't advise that because obviously they are crimes and they're misdemeanors, and you could face up to 12 months in jail on each charge. However, I understand that, you know, they're traffic offenses, so no problem. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir. Your Honor. Can you give me a grand total of the bond, please?
Yes, $2,500.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson. All right. What's your name, sir?
Keyshawn Ladson.
Mr. Ladson, you are here on one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. The way that it's written is a felony. I am going to grant a bond of $3,500. Okay. You don't have any special conditions other than just don't go around violating the law anymore. All right. Sure. Your next court date is going to be on, let me see what I have here, September the 21st. But if you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date, okay?
Okay.
Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do, sir?
You can appoint one.
Okay. Let me take a look.
Was that noise in the video? Did you guys just
All right,
hear
I
that?
will do that for you, Mr. Ladson. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
All right, sir. What is your name?
Juan Diego Alara.
Oh, Mr. Alara, they told me that you were bonded out.
Oh, I was never informed. I was trying to get a hold to contact somebody, but they never let me even get a contact on my phone number. So I was never informed.
So do you know whether anybody has posted your bond or not?
Well, I haven't had communication with none of my family.
I see. Well, I don't have any of your, I don't think I have your middle document here. Give me just a second, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it says out to bond. Well, you're definitely not out to bond because you're in front of me. Yeah, your bond is $2,500. Are you going to be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then.
I thought it was already paid.
That's what that's what the sheriff's understanding was too, that somebody already paid it.
Yes, sir. Well, if it's already paid, then yes, I can make it.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything that I need to do with you because you might get processed out. If for some reason that's not the case, then you'll have to appear tomorrow, but it looks like you're on your way to freedom, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay, no problem. Hopefully that gets taken care of. Your worst case scenario is somebody will see you tomorrow morning and get it straightened out, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Jonathan, could you go ahead and timestamp me that in Discord, please?
All right. What's your name, sir?
Cornelius Leftwich.
Okay, Mr. Leftwich. All right, sir. You are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. And so I am going to grant a bond. The bond is going to be $2,500. Who is Sabrina Leftwich to you?
My mother.
I got you. I see. Do y'all live together, Mr. Leftwich?
Yes.
Okay. Who is it? Is it your mom's residence?
It's my mom's and my father's residence.
Got it. I see. Do you have personal belongings there?
Yes, but I could stay somewhere else.
Okay, good. Well, that's what I was going to suggest and also implement, just so there's no further issues.
Yeah, I've been going over there since that.
Oh, well, don't tell me that. That's not something that you want to share, Mr. Leftwich. All right. So here's the thing. I am going to grant a bond of $2,500. Okay. Now, while your case is pending and while this order is in effect, don't have any contact with Sabrina Leftwich. Now, I know you said that's your mom. You can have contact with your dad all you want to. You can have contact with the other 300 million Americans if you want to, right? Just not her. Okay. Also, don't go back to the 8577 Glen Devin Court address in Riverdale. However, I'm going to allow you to go and get your items if you have personal items over there, but you just need to take the sheriff's department with you to get it. That way there's no issue of anybody saying you did something or they did something to you, because the sheriff will be right there. Okay. So just make arrangements with the sheriff's department. It'll be in the bond order and you take it up there and they'll go with you to make sure you can get your stuff in a peaceful manner. Okay. Now your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date. Lastly, you have the right to hire your own attorney. You can represent yourself, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
Hire my own attorney.
Okay. That's fine.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, that's fine. That's your right if you want to hire your own attorney. Just make sure that you get your lawyer by the time you have your next court date, okay?
Okay. And it's
All
bond
right.
is $2,500.
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
All
All right, you're good to go. Good luck to you, sir. All right, what's your name, sir?
Right, the maps.
All right. Mr. Mays. Mays, I'm sorry. You are charged with 1 count of battery family violence. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond in the amount of $3,000. I do have a special condition on here to not have any contact with Amanda Morse. Who is that to you?
She was my girlfriend at the time.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see. Oh, this happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all don't live together anymore, right?
Correct.
Okay. Good. Okay. I got you. Okay.
So, yeah. So.
All right. Well, just don't have any contact with her. Don't speak to her. Don't reach out. Don't try to do anything slick, because law enforcement will find out and you're just going to get yourself in even more trouble. Okay. It looks like you haven't been in any trouble since then, because they would have arrested you already. Okay. So just continue to not get yourself in any more trouble and let this work itself out. Next court date is September the 20th. If you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Just make sure your information is accurate with the clerk's office. Okay. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do, sir?
Appoint one for me.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Billy just said something so funny. Special conditions join a basketball team. That's hilarious. Also, I have heard some of my favorite special conditions, and this is an outstanding automatic challenge to everybody. If you hear a really crazy special condition, I would love to hear from you about it. But one of the ones that I like best is in one of the municipal courts when the guy has underage smokers and he makes them write a 10-page essay that I have been aching to try and get a copy of, some of the essays that have been submitted.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Darius McKeever.
Okay. Ms. McKeever, you are charged with 1 count of theft by taking. Oh, yeah. All right. Your bond is going to be $2,000. Okay. You do have a special condition not to return back to 3993 Tradeport Boulevard. Is that where you were working at the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if they were going to retain your employment or not, but just don't go back to that address. Okay. Find somewhere else to get some employment. Okay. It is a misdemeanor charge. So your next court date would be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, represent yourself, or have a court-appointed attorney, but you didn't fill out the information. So do you want to hire your own attorney? Is that why you didn't fill it out?
Yeah, I was going to try to hire my own, and then if not, then I'll see what I can do from there.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Just make sure if you hire your attorney before your next court date, they file the appropriate paperwork. And for whatever reason, if you don't have one by the time your next court date rolls around, just let the judge know that you want to speak to somebody about court-appointed attorney. Okay.
Okay. I do have a question.
Yes.
Is it able, so my bond, I was talking to my dad last night. My dad is an over-the-road truck driver. My mom lives in Pine Mountain, and I literally live with my roommate who does not have an ID.
Okay.
My bond could have been paid last night, but
okay.
Like everybody's, my dad's too far. The roommate doesn't have a license. My mom's too far. I was trying to see if it could be like a $500 reduction or maybe a signature bond for myself, because I have the money myself.
Right.
Like I'm literally sitting here with
Yeah, the tough answer is, I mean, look, here's the thing. If you have the money yourself, then you need to talk to a bonding company or the sheriff's office about doing it. I imagine if you had a stockpile of cash, I don't understand why they wouldn't let you use it. But unfortunately, I don't have control over that. You know, my power is really limited to kind of what I have gone over with you. And I don't do typically, if ever, do own recognizance bonds, just because you know, people take advantage of that, and then later it just makes the judicial process very messy. So yeah, I mean, I hear you, and this is not a judgment on you, but I have to treat everybody the same. If I do it for you, then other people are going to tell me the same thing you're telling me, right? So at this time, I'm not going to make a bond modification. However, you know, you can talk to an attorney, and they can file an emergency bond modification request if they want to do that. But at this time, the bond is $2,000. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Phipps.
All right.
People in court is one of those
All right,
dicks
Mr. Phipps.
that doesn't hit the like button right away. That's okay, but she self-identifies as a dick. It's mean. I shouldn't say that, but I believe it. Let's see here. Oh my gosh. I was trying to. Is a smoker a fight between two gyms? I don't know, Billy. I saw that comment. I don't know the answer. People in court, you should go live later. I'm going to end after this bond hearing, which, don't worry, isn't for like 40 minutes plus however long I ramble. But why are these defendants so nice and respectful? Deborah asks. And Hector's here now. Thank you, Hector. Hi, Lisa. Lisa's here too. Perfect. So the reason is unclear, Deborah. I really have a few. I mean, I have some fanciful, like, weird, sort of not real ideas. But my actual educated guess would be there is either a guard or some administrator that handles the paperwork to do with release and booking, perhaps, that is quite good at telling people. Well, they're not respectful. He gives the very good talk at the beginning. He sort of takes away the option for people to tell their story. But I think what you sense is maybe like warning that was given before the camera was on and before the judge was on by one of the COs, where like, hey, we need to get this shit done quickly today, and that means that all of you need to be on your best behavior. What that means is when he asks you your name, you give him your name. Don't talk out of turn, this, that, the other. Like, there could be a real protocol like that going down that is even tied to something like, if you guys are good and quick, we get through this quickly, you get released earlier or whatever. And I'm not saying please, I'm saying, and I think what Deborah means is that they're not respectful in the sense that they have manners, but they are very quite respectful of court time in a way that we often don't see. We see people rambling, people talking like I am, and for some weird reason, they have it locked down in this court that I think it's on both ends. So the COs know how he operates, and they'll say, I bet it's this actually. I bet they said this. Guys, you hit the jackpot today. It's Sunday, and Dismissal Dan works on Sundays. So 4 or 5 of you are going to be dismissed cases. He dismisses the people that are quietest and don't make a fuss. Like, imagine. So if you want to be the lucky one today, when in fact they don't have any reality, like any bearing on them getting dismissed or not, their behavior there, but you could pretty confidently make a weird claim like that if people weren't in the jail a lot, and watching it happen in front of them would be like, oh shit, this guy is dismissing stuff. So, my dad, like I said, was a corrections officer, and he always talked about how you don't have to necessarily be the strongest person to get things done, or like there's ways to get things done, basically, that are not bad and not cheating and not stealing, nothing like that. It's just the way that you present a situation Some people would call it manipulate, but I would call it socially engineer. The environment that people feel in, you can really dictate how something goes. I mean, honestly, if you're crazy, if you were a bitch and you wanted to really rile people up, you could really, really get people nervous before a court hearing if you were the one in charge of doing their paperwork. Like the thing when a bunch of people are here, like, and they don't have their paperwork done and they are afraid to take a court appointed attorney, my mind jumps to a bad corrections officer who doesn't want to take the time to help people fill it out properly, doesn't want to explain it, or on a worse option is somehow taking a kickback when people don't take lawyers because they're less likely to contact the legal system about something improper. So the place here takes the money. Like there's a situation here that I think is a little weird, but anyways, Tit Wissy's here. Thank you so much. That is the way I see it. People in court, two of my favorite friends hanging out. They say I distract them. They distract me. I'll tell you that. My channels distract me. People in court, that's because everybody is welcome to be a dick around here. Anyways, let me just see here. I'm looking. This font is so small. I can read it okay, but not great. Let's keep going. You're telling all my other friends that I said you liked them, you guys the best? Joke's on you. I don't have other friends. All my friends are here.
You are here on one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is going to be $2,000. And then one count of disruption with operating a public school. Misdemeanor, the bond is $1,000. So your total bond is $3,000, okay? Now, as part of your bond, I have some special conditions for you, all right? So number one is not to have any contact with Tolerance, I don't know how you say his name, Jones, okay? Mine.
Jonathan, go ahead and hit that, or if Jonathan's not here, people in court, can you please DM me the timestamp for this beautiful name? We're going to go back here and hear it. One time this judge said, he was saying Hugo, and he was like Hugo or Hugo. And it tickles me to this day. Sometimes I'll just find myself whispering, Hugo, Hugo. I think he was saying tolerance. Tolerance. This is great. We're going back a wee bit.
Bond, I have some special conditions for you. All right. So number one is not to have any contact with Tolerance, I don't know how you say his name, Jones. Okay. My understanding is that this was the incident at Morrow High School. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So just don't have any contact with him. Now, also, I noticed when I was going through the paperwork that you're here with another gentleman by the name of Ricky Tarver. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know what kind of situation was going on between you, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Tarver. Doesn't really matter. I don't know who's the good influence, who's the bad influence. If both of y'all are good and Mr. Jones is bad, or both of y'all are bad and Mr. Jones is good. What I do know is that you're here and Mr. Tarver's here. So for your own benefit and for his own benefit, don't have any contact with him either. I don't know if he's your friend or a random person. I don't know. But everybody involved in this particular situation, it's not good for any of you. How old are you? 17?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I imagine, you like your freedom and don't.
Whoa, his tone. Wow, Judge. Yes, use that tone with me too. Seriously though, this is a great example of something that a lot of judges do. Like Judge Manning does this as a standard, but this judge doesn't do it as a standard. He does it as, like, he really looks at each file, no pun intended, and then just like makes the calls. So he's saying, the person you were brought into jail with, I don't care if you're friends, I don't care if you're not friends, you're not having contact with them. And that's to get him not in trouble as much as possible. Now, here's the thing. Listen to this voice shift when he remembers this kid is 17. Actually, Larry, belatedly, could we have you up here because 17? You know how we do, Larry Boo. But listen, like Judge's voice really shifts here. I love it.
Have any contact with him either. I don't know if he's your friend or a random person. I don't know. But everybody involved in this particular situation, it's not good for any of you. How old are you? 17?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I imagine, you like your freedom and don't enjoy being locked up, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's right. You can't do what you want. You can't play video games. You can't play basketball. Can't holler at girls. You can't do none of that while you're in jail, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's typically things that somebody of your age, those are things people your age typically like to do. So if you want to continue to do things and eat the foods that you want to eat and have the freedoms of being out of jail, don't have any contact with these people, okay? All right, that includes social media. Don't try to be slick and think you're going to use Snapchat and WhatsApp and the messengers are going to disappear, because guess what? Law enforcement can get them. Ain't nothing secret, okay? Your next court date is going to be on September the 20th. If you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date, okay? Now, you have the opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do, sir?
You can appoint one for me.
Yes, sir. I will do that. For you. What grade are you currently in?
I'm in 11th.
Okay. All right. You plan on sticking through and graduating?
That's why I'm trying to get out of jail.
All right. Very good. Very good. Do you do any sports?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Okay. Very good. Well, I don't know if you're any good or not, but don't throw away a potential opportunity to go to college and have a lot of good experiences by getting involved in some crazy stuff like this. All right. Because a lot of people have had a ton of talent and ton of opportunities. They just throw it away for nothing. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right, Mr. Phipps. Well, good luck to you. Don't come back.
I'm not.
All right.
I know he's charged as an adult, and hold on, Judge. I'm not going to go back and edit him out. I just, you know how I try to have rules that I follow. I'm very bad at it. Good at setting rules for me. Not so much for me. Anyways, let's, and the other thing is I have a few exceptional name stories. Actually, okay. Before we get started on this next case, I will tell a story from my time at the bank because it will not hurt anybody's feelings, even though it's a weird name story. Because you have to understand, weird name stories are pretty much like Docs Central, because that's their name if you're going to tell the story. So, but this one is a little bit different, and I'll tell you why. Like I mentioned earlier, hi, Flying Monkey. I hope you're good. I'm just telling a story about my time at the bank, and then we're back into the bonds. But like I said, I worked at the bank for a number of years during high school, and I was pretty good at it, like really good at it. And as a teller, keep in mind, I live in Canada. In Canada, we have a very regulated banking system. So there's like 6 major large banks, and I worked for one of those major banks. So it was like a real job, a real bank. Anyways, so I saw lots of people's names and lots of weird ones, but most often, you just go on with whatever. I'm also looking at their bank accounts and at their credit sort of statements and where they shop and all these things very quickly when I pull up their accounts. So, it didn't seem It wasn't hugely thing, and it was very identifiable as always. So I even knew that back then. Regardless, sometimes people ask for odd things, and how banking worked when I first started was very branch central, which is going to be very familiar to Americans because you guys have many, many, many different banks, and you can get full banking services from one of them, but people who live in the same city or the same state might not, like that bank won't know that person. Like there's lots of different banks and they're individualized. So it's not weird to you that a bank would be like, no, we're not cashing that check. I don't know who wrote that check to you. But in Canada, that's pretty rare because most people have multiple accounts at multiple different banks. So you almost always bank at the same place as somebody else. Nowadays, you have digital signature cards. So the signature is digitally put into the computer system. But back in the day, what you did when you opened your bank account is you sign the signature card. It's like, and it was a physical card, like an index card that we folded and stapled and we put into like card catalog drawers in each branch. And each branch had their own card catalogs. And so, for example, let's say you were traveling across the country and you lost your bank card in your wallet and you didn't have your ID. You could go into the bank account or the bank, like I worked for CIBC, so you could go into the CIBC in any part of Canada, but they don't know who you are. Nowadays they do, but back then we didn't know who you were. We needed your bank card to pull it up or ID, but what do we match it to? The signature card. And so part of the deal was you used to spend a lot of time calling other branches to get signature cards faxed over from another branch so that you could help the customer that was in front of you. Side note, I had a stalker once and he came into the bank and sort of freaked me out and freaked the bank out. And so for like 4 weeks, I was on like back duty where I wasn't allowed to be at the front end. And my job was literally pulling the staples out of signature cards all day long. Anyways, that was not this story. What happened was I was at my wicket one day and this man came in with a child who was about 12 years old and they wanted to make a deposit into the bank account. So actually the kid was like 10. That's right, about 10. And so I swiped the card, totally fine. And I'm like, oh, you know the sticky wicket, Hector? I love the sticky wicket. But I bet you're just talking about maybe something else. But there's a bar in our town called the Sticky Wicket that has a rooftop volleyball. But anyways, so I pull up the account. I do my usual cursory glance. I go, name, age, gender, how many accounts. Like my brain just automatically does all this. And then my brain goes back to the name and goes, that's wrong. It's got to be wrong. But, you know, names are people's names. So it's not normal that I would question that somebody's name is wrong, but it's a child. So you don't have ID the same way. And the name said baby. And I was like, baby? I mean, what probably happened here is they opened this bank account when they were very, very young, maybe even before the child was born. And somebody maybe had, I thought, incorrectly put baby and then the last name. So I didn't say anything yet. I just went to the back. They were from our branch, and I go, pull the signature card, and I'm like, oh, it does say baby on here. And I was like, this is a newer signature card than I would have expected to see. Like I was looking for like a 10-year-old signature card, and it wasn't 10 years old. And so I like walk back out and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to like say something about this. So I was like, I think there's been a mistake. It seems to have your account listed under baby. So I apologize about that, but it's fine. We'll get it changed now. What was the actual name that should be on the account? And the dad looked at me. He's like, no, the name is baby. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, we're letting her choose her name when she's 12. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, until she's turned 12, we call her baby. But once she turns 12, she gets to pick her own name. And I was like, okay. That's weird, but okay. Definitely not the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but like very odd. And I will say one last bank story before we keep going. So again, like it was weird. It's like they were trying to empower her. This is in the early 2000s, keep in mind. These people were ahead of the curve. But so the bank is sometimes a bit difficult to comprehend for some people. And you just do your best and help people as much as you can. So oftentimes people brought in deposits of cash and they would deposit it into their bank account. And most people understand what that means. I had a woman who was at my wicket and she came up with some cash deposit slip. We put it into the account. I printed her a receipt. She had a lovely time. She was going a little bit slow, so she moved to the next window, which was closed, while I helped the next customer because we were busy. The next customer came forward and they wanted to do a withdrawal. I swiped their card. I began to do their transaction and I withdrew the money and I started to count out the money. And the previous customer started to freak out about me giving away her money. And I was like, excuse me? What? And she's like, you're giving her my money. And I was like, ma'am, I'm probably 16 at the time. Just like, how do I explain this? Like, what do you, I'm like, no, it isn't your money anymore. It was, but I put it in the computer and now it's the bank's money and they want money and the bank has their money too. So I'm going to give it to her. She's like, no, doesn't that go in my account? And I was like, it is already in your account. And she literally thought we took money to the back and like saved it. And I was just like, no, that's not it. But again, like I have this lady who's freaking out about something that's really like nothing. And this person that's like, can I have my money? And I'm like, yeah, hold on a second. Yes, I'll just give you different money just to make sure we are okay here. Anyways, yeah, the bank, I have many, many bank stories, but that one, it was pretty crazy. And some of the names were like crazy, but one time there was a girl who didn't know you had to pay back a credit card. Very, very perplexed. I was like, did you just think you got $2,000? Yeah. I was like, no. Okay. Just so difficult to comprehend. But that's a lack of financial education. I actually think teachers, what they should do is play like a game of life from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and they should give kids like 40,000 or like actual salaries to like electronic money to freaking actually budget. Because I'll tell you something, when I was making my fantasy budget, when I was in my stupid budgeting class or finance class at school, I was like dreaming for a $2,000 budget that it would be my freaking mortgage payment. I would never have dreamed I'd be paying like over $3,000 a month to rent some shithole sometime in my life. But alas, reality's a bitch.
Demetrius Pierce Jr.
Okay. Mr. Pierce, you were here. Well, who is Demetria Pierce?
That's my sister.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if I figured y'all were related, but I didn't know if y'all were
together during it.
Yep, I understand. She had a little bit more life.
Most people that do that do it in like a condensed block of sort of thing. Like they'll play it for a month maybe or whatever. I'm talking about fucking all year long budget. Get them really into life, you know? I don't know. Wouldn't help me. I know about budgeting. I worked at the goddamn bank. Before I graduated high school, actually before I failed high school, because remember, I only graduated late because of a bit of a thing, an administrative technicality. Before I graduated, when I was working at the bank, I went to, and failing math left, right, and center, I went and took my investment funds in Canada, which is IFIC. It's like the license to sell mutual funds, and they licensed me to sell mutual funds when I was 16 years. I passed the test. They're like, you studied for it, you passed it, you're good to go. So I could not pass math, but I was totally cool to sell mutual funds.
Light than you did. But we're going to get you set here. All right. So you're charged with one count of hindering or display of a license plate, misdemeanor, $500. Possession of marijuana, less than an ounce. The bond is, let me make sure that's less than an ounce. Yep, less than an ounce. The bond is $1,500. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, felony, the bond is $3,000. And then possession of a weapon during commission of a crime, the bond is actually, hold on. It was going to be $5,000, but I'm changing it to $3,000. Okay. So your total bond is, let me see, 3 + 3 is 6, 7, 8. So your total bond is $8,000. Okay. Typically, just like I told that last gentleman, I don't like for co-defendants to mingle and talk, because every single time they're talking about their cases together, which is never a good idea. But since that's your sister, I don't want to bar you from hanging out with your family. That's not very cool. So I will just suggest to you that you keep your case and discuss it with your lawyer. She keeps her case, discusses it with her lawyer. Okay.
Okay.
That's excuse me. That's just my suggestion. I don't have any power to enforce it. I've just been doing this long enough to know what's going to happen. All right. Now your next court date.
Hector, hilarious comment. Sashina is a math teacher. I have challenged Sashina next year to, although I imagine they'll probably get a little bit upset, Sashina. They'll be like, listen, the kids are really engaged. We love it. I mean, the math scores are up. But we've noticed this odd trend to the questions you're asking. They're all very dark and related to bond and bond conditions. Is there a reason for that? I mean, you've gone distance, you're doing bond measurements, fractions, how many criminals, even telling time you're using criminal behavior. So, anyways, I digress from my weird Sashina separate thing. I don't know.
Date is September the 19th. If you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Okay. Do you have any questions about, oh, nope, back up. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
Appoint an attorney to me.
Okay. Whew.
Whew, Judge, you tired? You okay?
Are you self-employed or do you work for someone?
So basically, I'm self-employed. I started my own movie company.
You're right on the edge I'm gonna go ahead and appoint one for you just because you have felony charges and I want to make sure that you're represented. So I'm gonna appoint one for you, sir, per your request. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
None at all. I really appreciate it.
Okay. All right, sir. Good luck to you. And like I said, don't discuss your case with anyone, including your sister.
Got you.
All right.
All right.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Trellis Porter.
Village porridge. That's what I heard. Village porridge. Like a big communal pot of porridge.
Oh. You said Porter?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Larry Beaver.
I think that somebody, it looks like, oh yeah. Somebody, I've got information that says that you're out to bond.
My bond should have been posted.
Okay, you've been talking to somebody about your bond and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. Well, give me just a second, Mr. Porter. Let me see here. I don't think there's anything that I need to do with you, but sometimes it takes a minute for these things.
Deborah, tell me how many times you've seen where people have prepaid their bond before seeing the judge who assigns the bond. The fucking system there is so well oiled. Bluebell! Where's the... Go get the ball. Anyways, it's one of the weird oddities of this court as well. Like, very often people are like, you're not supposed to be in jail. You're already out. Well, obviously I'm not.
The process. So they wanted to bring you over just to make sure. Trellis Porter. But let me go ahead and just do this with you anyway. Your bond's already been set. Let me make sure. Let me just read this to make sure the charges are legally valid, because maybe I'm going to dismiss them. I don't know.
Talk dirty to me, Judge. Talk about dismissing. No, it's because they're doing it so fast. How are they getting a bond before seeing the judge, Deborah? It's because they have set bonds. So people are literally paying it before they've even seen the judge.
All right, Mr. Porter, I reviewed the warrant and it's legally sound, so I'm not going to dismiss any of the charges against you, but I'm not going to raise your bond or anything like that because it's already been set. So if you didn't know, the total bond was $1,500 to $2,500. Let me see. Do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one for you?
I'm hiring my own one.
Okay, that's fine.
I said I already got one.
Oh, who's your lawyer?
I gotta get out there to find out who they are.
I got you. So, all right, that's fine.
I know that's what you'd think, Deborah, but we have specifically seen cases where people have not been arraigned yet. I know that there are jurisdictions where the sheriff's office has the bond ability, like the ability to set bonds and release people for usually misdemeanor or minor infractions. But no, and honestly, Deborah, the reason I mention it is because, like I said, this is not a court for people, like, this is not a show for people that are like casual court watchers who are like, I want to see people fight in court. And like I really, really enjoy the minutia of court and all the differences and how some work really well and some don't and why that is. And so when I say something like that, I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, I thought that before, but he specifically has gone through things like, oh, and they haven't had an arraignment. It's just a system down there in Clayton County, Georgia, where they have designated bond amounts. So like each crime has a designated bond amount. And so I think what happens is because they are booked in by the police, who are the ones I believe that are doing these charges, not the DA's office, if I'm correct, then the police are aware of what the bond will be. And that's why they can do it. But again, I'm this girl that lives in Canada. I have no clue.
Okay then. Well, do you have any questions?
Can you tell me what was the bond amount for each charge?
Yes. For the speeding charge, it was 500. For the suspended license, it was 1,500, and for the seatbelt, it's 500.
Okay.
Now, as long as you don't have any other pending charges or anything like that, then just let them do their thing and process you out. Just be patient, okay?
That's good with me.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name?
Cameron Sims.
Okay. Give me just a second. Oh, there might be another person that's in this list over here. Oh, they just brought everybody over here. Oh, Mr. Sims, I did not get your paperwork. So unfortunately, we have to continue your case to tomorrow. I didn't get your bonding information or warrants or anything like that. So we have to move you to tomorrow, sir. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
How you doing?
Good. What's your name, sir?
Isaiah Thurman.
You said Isaiah Thurman, correct?
Yes.
Okay. East Robinson. Shane. Sam. I'm looking for your court appointed applicant. Here we go. Okay, sir. You were charged with one count of theft by taking, which is this one's a felony. However, I am going to set a bond in the amount of $3,000. The only special condition I have for you is to not have any contact with Denisha Williams. Who is that to you?
Brand.
Who is that to you?
Brand.
Okay. Well, don't be friends with her until your case is resolved, okay?
All right.
Your next court date is going to be on September.
That is the way I see it. Titwissy asks a question, which I guess is valid. Although to me, it seems obvious. Hi, Vicky. Titwissy says, Larry, why does he have a hard hat? And I say, Titwissy, look at that stack of paperwork. Don't you guys have OSHA? Larry's on the job carrying that one-handed. It is totally precarious. First of all, he's not even using a proper lifting technique. Workplace safety around here is a problem. Let's just be honest. So the least I can do is a hat. He has a steel tip tail, Hector. He won't wear the boots.
September the 21st, if you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date. Now, do you have the option to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you? What would you like for me to do?
Are you appoint one for me?
Okay. I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Tarver.
Mr. Tarver. You were here with Mr. Phipps, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What grade are you in?
I'm in 12th.
Okay, so you're almost done.
Yes, sir.
You plan on finishing, correct? You plan on finishing high school, correct? Okay. Just make sure you speak up because there's a delay between me speaking and you responding, all right? Now you're here on one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is going to be $2,000, and one count of disruption with a public school, so the bond is $1,000. So you and Mr. Phipps have the exact same bond amount. Total is $3,000. Now, just like Mr. Phipps, I'm going to put the same special conditions on you. Do not have any contact with Mr. Tolerance Jones, okay? And also, don't have any contact with Kaylee Phipps. Just like I told him, I don't know if you're the good person and he's the bad influence, or you're the bad influence and he's the good person, or Mr. Jones is the bad influence. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I just know that y'all three don't mix. Okay. So wherever Mr. Phipps is, if it's not school, you don't be there. Okay. Find other people to hang around, find other friends to make. Okay. You're almost done with school. You've got a whole world of opportunities awaiting you if you can just make it through. What, we're in August now. You got what, 9 months to go before you're out. Just keep your head on straight and mind your business for the next 9 months, and you're going to be good to go. All right. Your next court date is going to be September the 20th. If you bond out, and you do not need to appear for that court date. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint one.
Okay. Well, I imagine you like your freedom and you like to do things that a 17 or 18 or a high school senior like to do, and you don't enjoy being in the Clayton County Jail. Is that correct?
Sir.
All right. So you're basically an adult at this point. So you have to govern yourself accordingly. You have to watch who you hang around with. You have to watch not only how you act around people, but how you react to people. So just keep that in mind and remember how unfun and uncool it is to be locked up, and how you can't do what you want to do while you're here. All right.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tarver. Good luck to you, and don't let me see you back here again.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your name, sir? I need a name.
Woody.
What? What's your name?
Woody.
Woody what?
Damien Thomas.
Oh, got it. Sir, I have you as Arion Thomas. Is that you? Deputy Ricania, is there an area of the jail? I don't know if this gentleman needs medication or what, but I don't know if I can continue with his first appearance if he doesn't even acknowledge his name.
This is Mr. Thomas, Your Honor. Yeah, Mr. Thomas. Let's go through this so you can go back. Come on. Say your name. Gonna tell you your bond, court date. Let's go. Come on.
All right. Mr. Thomas, do you understand that you're charged with battery and theft by receiving stolen property? Do you understand that? Okay. All right. I'm just continuing. I can't.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Baskin, if you'll make a note of the continuance for Mr. Arian Thomas.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Hey, okay. Yeah, 8204. I'll let it go.
Okay, all right. What's your name, sir?
My name is Damien Thomas, sir.
Okay. Mr. Thomas. Damien Thomas.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good, sir. You are charged with 1 count of battery misdemeanor. That is going to be a bond of $3,000. 1 felony count of false imprisonment, the bond is going to be $5,000, and 1 count, excuse me, 1 count of aggravated assault felony, the bond is going to be $5,000. So the total bond is going to be $13,000. As part of special condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Sophia Frazier. Who is that to you?
My friend.
Okay, all right. Y'all don't have any children together or anything like that?
No, we have stepkids.
Stepkids, got it. Okay, well, in the meantime, don't have any contact with her, okay? Does she stay at the Raven Drive address in Jonesboro?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir.
Okay, and you stay there as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't want you going back there. Do you have another place that you can go?
We both from Alabama, and I really don't have no family down here. So if I was to get out of anything, I just have to go probably stay in a motel or something.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely empathize with you and understand that it's going to be rough while this case is pending. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's going to be easy. But at the same time, you know, I have an obligation to make sure you don't get in any more trouble and that she feels safe and the community at large is safe. So don't go back to that address. However, if you need to get some personal belongings, because I understand that that's where you were living, then you can take this bond order to the sheriff's department and they'll go with you, okay, to get your items. So don't just show up saying that the judge said that you can get your stuff. You got to do it the right way, okay? Your next court date is going to be on September the 21st, okay? If you bond out, you don't need to appear for that court date, all right? Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
I take an appointment.
Okay. All right, do you have any questions for me about your case?
Yes, I was wondering, like the charges that you gave me, like, is there any kind of way that I can have them, like, at least, like, reduced to $100 off each one or something, so I can have somebody.
Yeah. Sure. Well, here's the thing. I reviewed the charges, and you know, typically for especially the felonies, many people have bonds or even no bonds on those. I decided that, you know, after looking at it and the facts and the circumstances and things like that, I did decide to grant a bond, which I didn't have to do. Okay. And so I believe that I've treated your case independently, but also fairly. I have to be reasonable across the board, right? So while I appreciate your request, I'm going to leave the bond where it is. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
You have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, sir?
Lorenzo Winford.
All right, Mr. Winford. All right, Mr. Winford, you are charged with 1 count of cruelty to children in the 2nd degree and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I am not going to grant a bond on either of those charges today. Later on down the road, another judge may see it differently. As part of the bond conditions, if you do get them, would be a stay away from Jasmine Williamston and to not return back to 6726 Cherry Boulevard, Building 21D in Jonesboro. Your next court date is going to be on September the 21st at 8:30 a.m. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
I have an attorney.
I'm sorry?
I have an attorney.
Okay. What's your attorney's name?
Gregory McKenna.
Okay. Well, I did not get any paperwork indicating that they were representing you, but if you're in contact with them or family or friends are in contact with them, just let them know that your next court date, which is a very important one, they'll need to file their paperwork and be present on September the 21st at 8:30 a.m. Okay.
All right.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name?
Westbrook.
Mr. Westbrook. Okay. I've got you here. All right, Mr. Westbrook, you are charged with 1 count of littering on the highway, which is a misdemeanor. Your bond is $500, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. The bond is $3,000. Your next court date is going to be on September the 19th. If you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
I had a lawyer, Joanne Fields, but I'm gonna take a court-appointed lawyer instead.
Okay, well, you didn't fill out your application.
I did. That's why I put refuse on it.
I got you. Is that because you thought that you were going to continue with the lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions. Your name is Donald Westbrooks, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to skip down. Are you currently employed, Mr. Westbrooks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Approximately how much money do you earn per month?
Let's say over 3,000.
Okay. It's not bad. Do you own any real estate?
Not correct.
Okay. Do you have rent or a mortgage payment?
Not under my name.
Okay, but do you pay somebody rent or mortgage?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much?
2,000 monthly. 2,100.
Okay. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any children?
Yes, sir.
How many of them are under the age of 18?
All 4 of them.
Okay. Have you ever served in the military before? Is that a no?
No, no, sir.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, and you're okay with me putting that you verbally agreed to sign this via Zoom, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, all right, Mr. Westbrooks, then I will appoint an attorney for you. If for whatever reason you decide to change your mind and go with that attorney or hire a different attorney, whatever, that's fine, you can do that. Just make sure they file the appropriate paperwork. Do you have any questions about your case? You got to give me a verbal answer.
No, sir.
Okay. All right.
Have a good night, Deborah. That's our verbal answer. Good night, Deborah. Thank you so much for being here. And come back soon, friend. Good night. Bye, girls.
Right,
have
what's
fun.
your name?
Please be good. Girl and boy. Goodbye,
right,
girl and boy.
You were charged with, let's see here.
I just got told. Did you hear
misdemeanor
that?
hit and run. Bond is going to be $2,000. Misdemeanor driving on a suspended or not a valid license. The bond is $1,500, and then 1 felony count of violation, Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Bond is going to be $3,000. So your total bond is going to be $6,500. Your next court date is going to be on September the 21st. If you bond out, you do not have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
You can appoint one for you.
Okay.
Please.
All right, very good. I will do that for you, sir. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of questions is always shocking to me in this court.
Except for the two fugitives.
Yes. Now I sent over the extradition paperwork. Have they filled that out, or do they not want to fill it out?
They just have to sign it, Your Honor. Normally wait for you to go over with them, and then we let them sign it if they want to sign it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let me go ahead and meet with them, and we'll do that. Who are we going to do first?
I can do both of them at the same time. There's two of them, so.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's do them both at the same time.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, sir. And good morning, sir. All right, give me just a second, gentlemen. I need to bring up my script so I make sure I go everything I need to go over.
I have some questions, Judge. When is it normal for you to do a twofer? Like, you don't even do it when they're related. You don't do it when they're on the same crime. Are they being extradited to the same place? He is nothing if not efficient. So he probably has to explain the extradition rules to them both, and wants to do that together so that he only has to do it once. Never mind, Judge. You cool. You cool.
With you all. There are going to be certain points where I address each of you individually, okay? And then if I do that, I'll start with Mr. Owens first, and then I'll go to Mr. Shade. Which one of you is Mr. Owens? Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. So Mr. Owens is to my left. All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Daniel Nagel. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing. All of the rights that I advised everyone of earlier also apply in your case, but your hearing is a little different from the other first appearance hearings that have just taken place. You do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and they are requesting that you return to the state to answer these charges. All right, first, sir, are you Mr. Anthony C. Owens?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And sir, are you Mr. Joshua?
Damn it! I fuck it up every time by trying to click people in the court's links so that I can see what they're live for. Don't worry, it's coming back. I'm here still.
Shade.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you, Mr. Owens, do you already have an attorney representing you on the charges in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mr. Shade, do you already have an attorney representing you for charges in Escambia County Sheriff's Office?
No, sir, not.
Okay. All right. You both are charged with being a fugitive from justice as follows. Mr. Owens, enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing he was wanted by Hulseth County Sheriff's Office, Texas, for failure to appear, possession of marijuana, warrant number W723644869, a felony, and they will extradite. And Mr. Shade, enter and remain in the state of Georgia, knowing he is wanted by Escambia County Sheriff's Office for trafficking marijuana, warrant number 2022 WA12872, a felony. They will extradite. Mr. Shade, Escambia County, what state is that?
Florida.
Florida, got it. Okay. All right. So this hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you have heard, it is alleged that you are charged with Mr. Owens, possession of marijuana, and Mr. Shade, trafficking marijuana in the state of Mr. Owens, Texas, and Mr. Shade, Florida. Now, Each of you has a choice as to whether you wish to contest extradition or to waive extradition and be returned to the other state without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post bond, but the court is not required to allow bond in your case. As you are wanted by another jurisdiction, I am not setting a bond in your case at this time. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state of either Texas for Mr. Owens or Florida for Mr. Shade, you may file a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things. Number 1, whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. Number 2, whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state of Texas or Florida, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days awaiting your extradition. If the extradition is not completed in 90 days, then you will be released. So I'll start with you, Mr. Owens. Do you want to waive extradition and that will start the process of moving you back to Texas so you can answer those charges, or do you want to contest it?
I'd like to waive it.
Okay, very good. Then you should have some paperwork that have been presented to you that waives your extradition. I have already signed it. So if you want to do that, we'll just need your signature. I think there's several copies. There's like 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Okay. Once you do that, I'll process that paperwork, send it over to the sheriff's office, and they'll get you on the road to getting you out of here. Okay. Mr. Shade, do you wish to waive extradition or do you wish to contest it?
I would like to waive it, sir.
All right, Mr. Shade, the same thing applies to you. You should have copies, multiple copies of some documentation. If you wish to waive it, you just sign that. The sheriff's department will send it back over to me. We'll get it processed, and then we'll get you on the road of where you need to be as well, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Owens, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. So I spoke with this county, and they said that they're not coming to get me. Okay. What happens in that respect?
Well, I believe if it's been a total of 90 days and they haven't come to get you, then you'll be free to go.
So it's 90 days.
That's my understanding. Let me see here. I got it. Let me pull it back up. It's not often that I do these. And, you know, listen, although I am a judge and I am a practicing attorney.
Okay. You guys. Am I the only one hearing a lisp? I've heard it before and I've like been like, it's obviously the Zoom connection or whatever, but like, please somebody else tell me that you're also hearing that. It's like he was taught Spanish in Spain or something.
You should always consult with a lawyer just to make sure, because this is not my, I don't practice extradition. But I'll read this again. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days, awaiting your extradition. Okay, so if they can't do it within 30, maybe you get committed for an extra 60 days, maybe. If the extradition is not completed in 90 days, then you will be released. Now, okay, so I believe that if you waive extradition and they don't come and get you, based on what I am reading and my understanding of the law, right? Your worst case scenario is 90 days and you'll be free to go. Okay. But again, I wouldn't rely on that. That's just my understanding of it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Owens, do you have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Shea, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you both, and get those signed, and we'll get them over here and get the process started for you guys.
Yeah, all right, that completes the mails for today. So,
Okay. All right. I believe we're good. Thank you, sir.
no problem. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right. Miss Baskin, I don't know, because usually I don't have a judicial assistant with me. Is there anything that you need from me for this first appearance?
See, it's like the story continues. Usually I don't have a judicial assistant. Like they sent a judicial assistant to figure out like how is all this court getting done? We don't have a judge on the weekends and yet all these people are processed. I mean, we're not complaining because look at Fulton County next door, but anyways, that's just how my brain is pretending like that story goes. One day I'll write a children's-esque book for court lovers which is based upon the shoemaker story where the fairy, what is it? They came on and did the shoemaker's work at night. So, but it'll be that this judge came in and did all the judge's hard first appearance cases at night. But he did it with a little bit of a twist. Guys, we have just a few minutes before People in Court is going to be going live again. I would really appreciate it if you guys would go over there and spread some kitchen love like I know you can. It is really hard to get in front of the camera and chat and do the court thing. And so I applaud her for doing it, for letting me come on her show the other night, and for keep going. So, for keeping on going. God damn it, kitchen, get it right. So important. No, I'm just kidding. For me, it's a little different. I crave the attention. I'm extremely modest. So, you know. Anyways, I'm just kidding. But I've pinned the link. Amy has got it lovely for us. Please go over there. She's going to start around 9. But you know what? Doesn't matter when you start. You're never late because that's the way it is. We try and be as on time as we want, but that's how we do. Also, you guys have been amazing. The channel over 2,000. We're 2,069 subs. Oh, such a good number. Good number. Okay, that's so awesome. 2,069 subs. I love it. I'm so thankful and thrilled. And I am excited to keep going with more content for you soon. I am glad to hear it. Sean, glad that you love it. I love it too. Please go check out People in Court. She's doing amazing stuff. And I want to raid her court cupboard. I don't know what we call these weird like giant amounts of files that we all have, but I want to raid her court cupboard because she had an amazing case for me the other night that I know you guys will love what she has tonight, no matter if she picked it 2 seconds ago or not. That's my style. Anyways, I love you all. I'm proud of you. Thank you for clocking in for your shift. Please make sure you did that by hitting that like button and have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hey, Bluebell, come say bye. Bluebell, can you say goodbye? Goodbye.